friend has posted a few videos. Let's check it out. Let's check this shit out. I don't know why I'm talking like that. All right. Whoa. Really loud. Whoops. Left all the assets activated. Too many fucking circles, man.
Okay, my family are rich, and with us
What was that
rich,
cut?
we can...
Okay.
Okay, my... Okay, my family are rich.
Okay.
And with us being rich, we can do a lot more activities than the average person. So because we are spoiled with so many options, my family are always at a loss for what activity we should do next. And so we let the monsters in the forest vote for us. So for example, a couple of months ago, my family didn't know which holiday to go on. So we rounded up about 20 animals from our farm and sprayed some color on them, with each color representing a holiday. We divided the animals into 4 groups of 5 and led them into the forest. Then it was my turn to shoot out into the forest. We are not sure which holiday to go on, so choose for us. We found that all of the sheep were killed with an X mark etched onto them, and they were with the blue mark.
What?
Blue represented Dubai, and so we went to Dubai for a week. Then yesterday my mother shouted out to all of us when she thought she saw someone trespassing into our property. My father went out with a gun, and then he saw a couple of thugs running into the forest.
No, the thugs!
When my father gave some shots into the air, each thug was wearing a different coloured top. My father looked back at us and said, "Blue top is full English breakfast. Green top is a vegetarian English breakfast. Orange top is going out to a cafe for breakfast." He then shouted into the forest. I can't decide what kind of breakfast I should have, so vote for me. And then we heard one of the men scream. It was the man with the orange top who was found bleeding on the floor with an X mark on his body.
What the fuck is happening?
It looks like we're all going out to a cafe for breakfast, my father told us.
That's how rich people figure out where to go to eat for breakfast? Is that the Sega font? Is that the Sega Genesis font?
Nora was 12 years
Time
old.
out. Time out. Is that the Sega font? We have any font doctors in chat? What do you think? Maybe? Not quite.
Nora was 12 years old and always was afraid of a monster hiding under her bed.
A monster hiding
She stopped
under
looking
her
only
bed.
a few days ago because she was always afraid of looking into a monster's eyes. She used to tell people but stopped as she knew they would tell her that she
This guy is
shouldn't
the
worry
assassin rapper,
about
yeah.
such ridiculous things.
World renowned.
Suddenly one night Nora
fuck would love
was
rapper.
trying to get to sleep, but she was tossing and turning. She
Tossing
heard
and
noises from under her bed, and she decided to take a look. When she did, she saw her father that she had drugged a few days ago gone a very pale colour. It was now time to kill the monster she knew. Her father's eyes opened in horror as she got out a knife and slit his throat. Then she was relieved that the monster under her bed was dead. Weeks later,
And
the body
her dad was
found,
dead?
and Nora was nowhere to be found. Suddenly, the case took an unexpected twist. Years earlier, there were a whole family murdered by a little girl, and she was found crying, clutching onto a doll. Some people say the doll was possessed. One detective was surprised to learn the story because he remembered the doll in the room.
Really? It looks like it's like really loud on the thing.
He looked at the doll.
You sure?
But what happened next made him freeze in fear, as the doll wasn't the same doll.
Yeah, it looks like it's loud on my
seen.
thing.
The doll was a miniature version of Nora. He thought it was some sick prank.
Oh my god.
Until her eyes blinked.
What? The werewolf. Oh, he's a werewolf.
Was walking through the
Clearly.
woods at 10 p.m. when he thought he heard a noise in the bushes. He looked around and saw no one, but he sensed there was someone watching him. He never walked into the woods
Lycanthropy,
more
look
than
it
a
up.
mile,
It's real.
because everyone that knew the woods knew that it could take
It happened to you.
hours, if not days, to find your way out. The further you went in, it was like a maze after a while.
It runs in the
He
family.
continued to walk on when suddenly
Oh,
two
no.
people in black jumped out of the bushes
Didn't we see this
in
one?
front of him and held a gun to his head. They said, "Don't move and you won't get hurt. Me and my friend here have a little game we like to play. It's called The Hunt. You, my friend, will be human prey. We are going to give you a head start of 10 minutes. And me and my friend here are going to hunt you down. And if we find you before midnight, then we will shoot you, of course, and you will be dead. But just for the slightest chance of you surviving past midnight or escaping these woods, then you are
Yeah,
free
people really
to
are
go.
obsessed with like this
Even if we
dangerous
spot you
like man
after
idea
midnight,
or the
you
dangerous
will be
hunt
free
game.
to go.
Man, oh my
You
god, I
will
can't
have
talk.
your freedom. Dave was
The
shocked
dangerous
at what
game.
the man just said.
Hunting
and
man.
was about to walk back from the woods.
This
so
keeps
he could
happening over and
leave.
over again.
But the man said, "Do you think we are stupid? You are not allowed to go that way. You're only meant to go
Like how many
deep into
like
the woods.
purge and hunt movies
don't
have there
think about
been?
coming back. We have dozens of more people on the lookout.
Shit is kinda weird.
In case you decide to leave the easy way. But don't worry, it's just me and Bert here who will be hunting you down
Bert here.
when you go
Well, at least
that
Hunger
way,
Games has like a
deep
plot
into the woods. You ready to go, boy?"
instead of
Dave
just like
said,
one
"I'll
day a
go,
year we
but
let
please
everyone
don't
just kill
me."
each other.
And
It's like
Dave
doesn't make any
ran
sense.
and ran. 10 minutes later, the men followed him. Dave luckily knew of a great hiding spot that hardly no one knew except himself and his son, who
The most
unfortunately was
dangerous
murdered
game. Is
just
it?
a
Is that
few
the
weeks
name of the
ago.
Hunger Games?
Dave hid in a small little cave that
Guess
was
it's just a
hidden by
coincidence in my
trees
case, then.
that he hoped the men didn't know of. Luckily, Dave spent most of the time there, and when he got out at 2 minutes to midnight, he exited the cave to be greeted by the two men.
It is a
holding the
concept, though, it
guns
seems
right
like,
to him.
that
One
Hollywood
man
has
said,
gotten kind of
"Hey
obsessed
there,
with.
boy. Did you really think we would be stupid enough to not know about that little cave there? And
Oh, okay.
do you know there is still 2 minutes
There's
left?
also the Stephen
That
King
is
story I
plenty
talked about a few
time for
times,
us to shoot and kill
where they make
you.
all the kids
And
walk,
guess what?
and if they
That is
stop walking, they
exactly
get
what we are
shot.
going to do.
And the last one
Dave
walking
lifted
wins.
a rock, blocking his face as the men shot him several times
Damn.
in the chest. Dave fell down. The men walked over to watch him die. They looked down and said, "You were such an easy prey." Dave smiled up at them.
You
The
are
men
such
wondered why
an
he was
easy
smiling
prey.
after being shot several times.
I'm bulletproof, bitch.
One man asked, "What's so funny?" Dave said, "Ever hear of bulletproof vests?" Then he pulled a rope and a trap fell over the two men. Then Dave said, "That boy you hunted down and killed a few weeks ago was my son, and I could have killed ye back then, but I wanted to hunt ye bastards when ye were hunting your prey.
Ye
which
were
only
hunting
for
ye prey.
was me. Within seconds, Dave
Fucking turned to
into
the
a
werewolf.
at midnight, which he knew he always did. Every single night there was a full moon, and he chose tonight to be the night he would wander down the road knowing that they would try their luck at finding prey. He prayed that they would be looking for prey tonight. As he turned into the werewolf, he released the trap and bit their leg, hand and arm off, watching them squirm in pain. Then he said, "I was your prey, but now let me pray for ye. Now I lay ye down to sleep. I pray to the devil your soul to keep. When ye should die in this place of doom, I pray the devil keeps ye a very
I
hot
were
room."
ye prey, but now
And
the
then,
prey is ye.
Within seconds,
Now I pray
were
for
dead.
thee. Fucking drops the microphone. What's that? You want to hear?
He's on like Axel F, dance on the floor like I don't give an F. I've got my dance shoes on and I feel the groove. You don't even have to be Irish to do the Shamrock and Roll moves. Get on the floor or even your kitchen or the street. You can Shamrock and Roll anywhere if you feel the beat, if you feel groove. Just go and do the Shamrock and Roll. Just move. Feeling lucky, it's my lucky day. Even dancing in a lucky way. Shamrock and Roll and sway. Shamrock and Roll and sway. Shamrock and Roll and sway. Shamrock and Roll and sway.
Seasoned veteran. Sham wow. There's a new Nuke video I want to watch.
Top 10 ghosts caught on camera, desecrated. Japanese paranormal YouTube channel Fourth Wall has been sent several videos taken at the same cemetery somewhere in Japan. The graveyard is said to be haunted by the tragic ghost of a little boy who drowned in a pond 30 years ago. His parents laid him to rest in the cemetery and commissioned a beautiful statue of their son to be placed in his gravesite to honor and remember him. Late one night, heartless vandals desecrated the grave, destroying the statue and stealing its head. Since then, local legend says that the headless spirit of the child roams the graveyard, forever looking for his missing head.
What the fuck?
In September of 2015, a CCTV camera at the cemetery records this shocking footage.
Oh, the statues. That's heard.
In the dead of night, a shadow-like figure can be seen walking along the graves. After word of this disturbingly creepy video spread, a Japanese ghost hunter decided to investigate the cemetery for himself. It did not go well.
Did not go well. Those graves are fucking huge.
The ghost hunter hears something and turns to see an odd white apparition, but he whips back around and
it's like each grave is like its
there.
own little shrine almost.
He seems to think he imagined it, but when he turns toward the other end of the cemetery row, the apparition is now right in front of him. In abject terror, he makes a run for it. So could it be that these strange figures are the spirit of the little boy, forever wandering the cemetery? Let me know what you think. You can watch this full video and many more spooky Japanese ghost videos over on the YouTube channel, Fourth Wall.
Yeah, Fourth Wall is a pretty cool channel.
Croatian Creeper.
Some of them
Popular
are
YouTuber Dennis Domian sets out to explore the Brebear Cemetery in his hometown of Brebear, Croatia for his quote, scary bedtime stories video series. He says that throughout his childhood, the cemetery has always given him the creeps, and even now he feels uncomfortable just being there. In the dead of night, he gives a video tour through the graveyard when suddenly he records something that's just unnerving.
Ok, lagano idem jer imam feeling ko da nisam sam.
That sound. I love that fucking classic sound effect.
Someone or some strange distorted figure can be seen.
I forget what it's called. You hear it when you open up
the
StarCraft, the original
when
StarCraft.
Dennis turns back,
that sounds. What is that from?
Throughout the video, it can be seen that the
it's
small
from a bunch of
cemetery
things.
is
So what is that sound
completely
effect
empty,
called?
and Dennis swears he was all alone.
Heard it in like
so
movies,
just who
shows.
or what is this strange, distorted thing? The ghost.
I think you hear it in X-Files a couple times.
Now, most of the time we think of creepy paranormal video as occurring in the dark, and maybe in creepy old abandoned places. But here's a video that's from a live daytime heavy metal music festival in San Bernardino, California in 2011.
San Bernardino.
Just watch very closely, because it's about to get weird.
Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. When I see this kind of footage, I miss festivals like this, but then like being there kind of fucking sucks. Like look how it's probably so fucking hot there. Oh shit. Looks like that dude just got like knocked the fuck out. I don't know. Or he's like drunk or something.
So a very big guy goes charging into the mosh pit when suddenly he seems to get clotheslined by someone or something that is completely invisible. And he goes flying backwards.
If I saw this in real life, I would
Now,
never
that would
immediately be like, yo,
enough.
ghosts.
But his friend helps him up, and then he seems to get forcefully yanked backwards
Like,
again
no
by
fucking
some
way.
unseen force. He even seems to get dragged backwards along the ground. So is this just the ghost of an angry metal fan? Is this guy just an incredible mime?
This guy
Or
fucking
what
going
happened
insane behind
here?
him.
You tell me.
It could be so many different things. It could be just them doing exactly what they want. And making it look like there's something like invisible hitting them, but
Caught
I think
on
it's probably just a
camera.
drunk dude.
Instagram user Satanic Tacos, aka Heather, says she is skeptical of all things paranormal and doesn't believe in
Losing
the
his balance.
afterlife or ghosts. But late one night, her 1-year-old son wakes up very upset and doesn't stop crying for over 2 hours. Bizarrely, the motion detectors on the CCTV cameras around Heather's house were going off too. She checked her recorded CCTV footage, and to her shock, just after her child starts crying, one of the cameras outside catches something
What is that?
downright
What are we looking at? It just looks like salt or sand with like hair growing out of it.
creepy.
What was the black shit going through it? Like
A strange
grass or something?
translucent figure seems to appear right out of the wall of the lower deck and can be seen walking through the snow away from the house. Heather says she has no idea what this could be and is a little freaked out about the timing with her son's crying. Now, as for myself,
No, I think that was like
usually
corpse
I would
dust.
just say that this is a compression error in the camera and
People
that
use
it's
a lot
blurring a
in
person
videos
who is
these
walking
days.
in darkness.
Make
But
them more
everything
spooky.
else here in the video is perfectly clear and the footage is well lit. So I'm a bit confused myself. If you see a video that you think would be perfect for the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great, contact me at nukestop5@gmail.com. The
Be
girl
real of the
on
dude looking
road.
at something on his phone.
Now
He's
this
like,
next
"What?"
creepy video was sent in by a very nice Nuke's Top 5 viewer, but it's an old clip and the source is unknown. The video is believed to have been recorded in the West Java area of Indonesia, and it shows two men encountering something horrifying on the road.
It's just a kid. It's just a kid. What? Just fucking
The two
float
men pray
away.
continuously as they encounter what looks to be an extremely pale
pretty
figure of a little girl. Even more terrifying, as they get closer, the figure seems to float up into the night sky above them. Now, because I don't know the actual source of this video, it's impossible to check its legitimacy in any way.
It looked like they kind of like
But
swung
real or
around a
not,
little bit when they went
It's
by.
definitely very creepy, and it certainly
It
shocked
could be like
me
a
when I
dummy or
first
something that
watched
got
it.
like pulled up on
I
a rope,
was
but
not
either way, that's
expecting the
kind of a good
fun.
amount of effort. Kind of cool.
Crying in the dark. Paranormal investigators Jordan and Johnny from the YouTube channel Paranormies set out to investigate an old house in Manitoba, Canada that's believed to be haunted. The story goes that in the 1960s, a woman named Rachel discovered that her husband of only 2 months had run off with another woman. It is said that
Paranormies.
neighbors heard Rachel sobbing uncontrollably shortly before taking her own life. Cut to current day. It is said that in the house, lights turn on and off by themselves. Strange written notes have been left behind, and loud disembodied
Damn, that
sobbing
HD pencil
has
is
been
spooky.
heard coming from the basement. Not long after the Paranormies start their overnight investigation, the guys decide to head down into the gloomy
I
basement.
thought that was a stripper
That's when
pole at first.
investigator Johnny hears and captures something downright chilling.
The dancing ghost.
What was that?
You heard something?
Yeah, it sounded like a kid's voice.
It said,
Ready?
what did it say earlier? Did it say
That sounded like
child?
SpongeBob.
Yeah, it did say
It sounded
child.
like a kid's voice coming from down here. I
Ready.
don't know if I want to turn these lights off. I was going to turn them off.
Johnny is shocked when he hears the sound of sobbing coming from somewhere down in the basement. The guys now believe that the spirit of Rachel might be with them. Meanwhile, earlier in the investigation, the Paranormies set up 3 separate motion-activated REM pod devices on the main floor of the house. As they're investigating down in the basement, they hear something truly bizarre.
You heard that? Footsteps upstairs?
Footsteps. I heard it.
REM pod?
And another one.
And another one.
The investigators hear footsteps right above them, and a static camera records as 2 motion-activated REM pod devices are triggered by something moving around on the main floor. Then a light turns on and off on its own. Jordan and Johnny decide to set up a laser grid and point it towards the kitchen and living room on the main floor, right beside the basement stairs. As they are discussing just what might be going on in the house, they capture something very disturbing.
Even when I said, like, hey, it did RAC, am I okay? Like, thank you. Like, I don't need you to continue on. What? Shut up. What did you see? I heard the wrong.
A shadow.
A REM pod.
Right from here, this way? Like over this way or that way? Between the letters.
Even when I said, like, hey, it did RAC, am I okay? Like, thank you. Like, I don't need you to continue on. What? Shut up.
An odd misshapen shadow figure darts across the ceiling in the living room right in front of Johnny. The 2 investigators rush over
always
to
looks
check
like
out the
Christmas
area,
lights whenever
but
I see
find
this one.
nothing and no one. So just what is this? Did the Paranormies team capture the distraught spirit of Rachel? Let me know what you think. You can watch this full investigation and many more spooky videos over on the YouTube channel, Paranormies. Caught in the headlights. Now this next video is not in any way related to the paranormal. It's actually the official music video of a very popular Mexican rap group called Cartel de Santa, and it's been viewed over 64 million times on YouTube. But many confused fans pointed out something very spooky that happens near the beginning of the music video. Pay very close attention.
What?
Did you see it? In front of the car, the headlights illuminate some bald grayish figure crouching in the bushes that suddenly stands up to look at the couple before quickly disappearing. Many fans believe that the rappers might have accidentally recorded something paranormal.
Couldn't it just
on
be
camera. But of course, this could simply be out delivering packages one day when he suddenly spots something.
I don't want to
very
get claimed from
bizarre
playing if
in
it's
the
like a
skies
popular
above.
YouTube video.
Hey, so out making deliveries.
Music video, rather.
What is this? There's a floating broom.
What?
Look, it's just floating.
Is it on the glass?
There's no wire. There's nothing it's connected to. It's what is that?
Looks like it's like something on the glass, maybe. Maybe not.
Seriously. It's just and it's moving too.
Now, I'm honestly not sure what to make of this video. This object
Some kind of optical
that does
illusion
look
is kinda
very
funny,
much
though.
like a floating broom is obviously not a kite or a balloon, and it doesn't appear to be suspended by wires or a drone. If it's CGI, then it would take a visual effects expert to track this effect in with such a
that's not a
shaky
drone.
camera. Also, Luca has no other
Definitely something
videos that
else.
contain any CGI or anything even remotely paranormal. Luca claims that the video is 100% real.
By the way, it was a floating broom. I did not see any wires. There was no drone. I gave a pretty good view above and below it. Guys, I swear on my life, there was nothing above it or below it. It was a floating broom. I don't know if somebody was doing a voodoo spell or if it was it was a floating broom. I've never seen anything like it. I don't ever want to see anything like it again. It was real. I don't do CGI. I don't know how to do that. It was a floating broom, okay? I'm just as stumped as you are. I happened to be the person that rolled up on it.
If it was like a bunch of
So, I
videos
have
that he
no
had
idea
of them
what
like
this could
seeing
be.
stuff like that,
Is it
I would
supernatural?
suspect it was a drone or
Is
something,
it
but
a,
just for like the
quote,
one
glitch
thing,
in the
I don't know.
Matrix?
I doubt
Or is
that.
it just a very elaborate
For like a
hoax?
10-second little
You
TikTok.
decide.
Unless like all his other stuff features like him
Followed.
using drones and shit.
Ghost hunter Martin from the YouTube channel Martin's Junction sets out to explore the abandoned and allegedly haunted Nepali house in the middle of the jungle in India. The house is so secluded and hidden away that the only way to get to it is by crossing a slippery log over a river. Before he heads out, Martin sets up a static night vision camera at the log to record as he makes his way
Yeah,
towards
even for the clout
house.
though, the logistics of
Now,
that don't
the
make
house
sense.
is empty and full of bats, lizards,
Like someone
and
cloud
snakes.
chasing and making TikTok
So
videos isn't
after
gonna
a bad
use a
fall, Martin
fucking
decides to head back
drone
home.
for a broom
But
video and never
something
use it again.
might have followed him.
That doesn't make any
As
sense.
Martin attempts to cross back over the log, things take a terrifying turn.
They would have other like things they would like feature using a drone and shit. You just like slip on the log? Man drunkenly tries to cross over log bridge. Dude, you don't need to constantly
Something
like be
dark
going
seems
back
to
and
be
forth
lurking
about
in
some
the jungle
dumb
behind
argument.
Martin. But every time the ghost hunter checks the area behind him with his
Bro, you
flashlight,
win, like, come
whatever
on.
it is
Don't be like
has
that.
disappeared.
So-
The mysterious
such baby
figure
shit.
appears several times and disappears just as fast.
Not like a fucking
So what do
competition
you
or
think
something.
happened to Martin? Did he fall by accident?
Relax.
Or did some dark, vengeful spirit follow him back from the house? Let me know. The Abandoned Asylum. Lead paranormal investigator Kaylee Love from the YouTube channel Love to Investigate reached out to me about a very creepy video she recorded in an old abandoned mental asylum in South Wales, UK. Kaylee says that she was alone with a fellow investigator exploring one of the decaying asylum's many buildings. Without knowing, she captures something absolutely chilling.
The bathroom again, there. That's pretty cool, that is. Smells like an hospital in this part, definitely.
Did you see it? At the end of the hallway in front of Kaylee and her team member, someone appears to be standing there, just watching her, before simply disappearing around the corner. Kaylee says she didn't see anyone there at the time.
These ones are always
In fact,
so
the
dumb.
odd
It's always
figure
someone
was
just like
actually
waiting around
pointed
the
out
corner
by
or
viewers
something.
in her YouTube comments.
Or like footage
So could
they
this
like
be
put
the
together
spirit of
later
a patient
on.
who tragically
Oh,
passed
good. I'm
away
just
at the
saying.
abandoned
Plus it's
mental
not.
asylum? I
no
leave it
reason.
up to you to decide.
If no one's gonna budge in a conversation, just drop it. Oh, good. No worries, dude.
Smells like an hospital in this part, definitely.
Thanks so much for watching. Please follow me on Instagram here, follow me on Twitter here, and follow me on...
I think there's a new Sir Spooks too. I can't wait till the day that both these guys just have the same fucking videos in each one. Scary
Channel
Ghost
YouTube
Zone.
Called Scary Ghost Zone uploads exactly the kind of content you would expect them to. Tons of potential paranormal evidence. And although a lot of their videos are definitely quite eerie, one of them stands out amongst the rest, and you'll see why shortly. The video, which was published in April of 2013,
He even does kind of sound like him.
follows an unidentified
A little tiny
videographer
bit.
as they walk around the premises of
Right?
an ancient cemetery late at night, with just their camera, seemingly not even a flashlight. Throughout the footage, the videographer zooms in on potential areas of interest, but doesn't seem to capture anything too freaky. That is, at least for a little while, because about
clown
halfway
guy?
through the video,
He
manages
doesn't
to
make
record
spooky videos
this.
anymore. He only makes animal videos. Which we've watched a few times. Malevolent Elephant. But he doesn't do spooky content anymore. He just does animal videos. And the editing is not very good sometimes. It's like the same clips being reused and reused and reused, and like the volume is way off. They're so good. I just wish they would spend some more time on some of that stuff.
A strange, ghostly figure can be seen lingering just behind a pillar at this portion of the video.
We haven't watched a lot of
But it
next,
doesn't
just because
seem
the
as
next
though the
videos
person
tend to be
recording
so
the
long.
incident
I haven't
even
watched a lot on
noticed it at the
stream.
time.
Some of them are
Perhaps
like
just
pushing
as
like an
interesting,
hour sometimes
when
these
he pans
days.
the camera back to the same spot a few seconds later, the creepy figure has mysteriously vanished without a trace. So what could this entity possibly be?
Like
Do you
20
think that
minutes
this
is, I
the
think,
spirit of
perfect
a
length
deceased
for a video to
individual
watch
who
on
was laid to
stream.
rest in this very
For attention
cemetery?
span.
Was this just a person walking
But
around
it depends.
the
If it's a
area
good
late at
video,
night for
I
some
would check it
reason?
out, but
Or is this
it's a big
just a
commitment
fake?
for a video I haven't seen
Be
yet
sure to let me
sometimes, where I'm
know
like,
your
I don't want to
thoughts
watch
in the
this. Or it gets like
comments.
weird or something, you know?
A YouTuber named Resonance2001 has been uploading the occasional video to his channel ever since January of 2009. By taking a quick
Yeah, we
look
watched
at his
a little
channel,
bit at the beginning.
you'll see that it's actually filled with quite a lot of interesting and relatively simplistic stuff, such as outdoor nature vlog type videos. However, one video of his stands out as being quite eerie. The video, which was uploaded in March of
I hope it's
2015,
gargoyles.
follows Resonance as he
Disney's
ventures out to the Lincoln
gargoyles.
City Cathedral at night, which initially looks
was Gargoyles Disney? Oh, no, there's two different things I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the Gargoyles from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I'm thinking of Gargoyles, the animated show, and I'm combining them in my head into one thing.
Shit.
Oh, it is, anyways. Well then. Yeah, that's true. Both are Disney then. Gargoyles. Yeah, I remember someone had a Gargoyles backpack that I used to ride the bus with all the time. And I remember I was like, yo, that backpack sucks. I don't remember anything else.
Hiding behind a pillar, the uploader records what seems to be some sort of a face, but it doesn't look like a normal human face because of the uncanny characteristics of it. As he approaches the figure, it slowly moves further behind the pillar and
you see
ultimately
the gargoyles in
as soon as the uploader makes
What We Do in the Shadows.
The ghostly figure should be standing. This audibly freaks out Resonance, which is quite understandable to say the least. Resonance loves to explore the world and document his findings to his viewers, but I think it's safe to say he won't want to go back to this cathedral for a second visit.
Is that like thermal?
This next entry contains 3 separate videos that were posted to TikTok by username diegospykers. The first video in question actually looks relatively wholesome upon first glance, as we watch a young girl simply enjoying being a kid. But in just a matter of seconds we learn that this is no innocent video whatsoever, but rather something genuinely terrifying.
I hate when people like fuck with their kids for these videos. Because you know it's not real.
Amazingly, as soon as the man goes to investigate whatever that figure was, it's miraculously gone without a trace, leaving him completely baffled as to what exactly just happened. The second video,
I guess that's not that bad, but I've seen some where it's like, dude, just leave your kids alone.
Thanks to the lack of music and sound, as well as the sheer unpredictability.
I'm so lucky my parents never fucked with me like that. I'd be
there seems to be
fucking
some sort of a figure sitting in a fetal position,
so
with
easy
a
to
blanket
fuck with.
covering their entire body. Carefully, the uploader walks up to this figure before very quickly removing the blanket. Surprisingly though, he finds that there was absolutely nothing underneath it. But how is that even possible when we could so clearly see that somebody or something was inside? Finally, in the third video, we can hear some sort of weird knocking or tapping sound coming from inside the uploader's bedroom.
I like that the blanket's
he gets
on the
his
bed.
knees to look underneath the bed, but doesn't find anything there whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it seems as though whenever he looks under the bed, the sound stops completely, which just confuses him even more. He stands up, ready to give up and call it a day, when something unsettling happens.
¿Se escucha? Marica, llevo la de rato escuchando eso, perro, y reviso por todo lado, weón. Y nada, perro, no se ve nada, marica, lo he revisado por todo lado. No.
That sound was. It would have been so much better without the sound.
To make you scratch your head, wondering what exactly happened, and if real, what kind of bizarre entity Diego is dealing with. Do you think Diego's encounters are real, or is he setting these all up? If you think it's real, what is he dealing with? I'll let you decide.
I'll let you decide. I like this music he's using. It was spooky. Track.
A TikToker, presumably named Alan J, works
but we've seen this one like 80
at a local
times.
school, and because of this job, he often finds himself working late-night shifts.
The moving chairs.
This can obviously have its advantages, though. For one, he gets to essentially work by himself, meaning it would definitely be relaxing on a lot of nights. However, on this particular night, Alan found himself living through a nightmare. He starts off the video by essentially explaining that he has been experiencing some bizarre activity happening in and around the school premises. So he decides to pull out his video camera in the hopes of actually recording something happening live in the flesh. At one point in the video, as he enters a classroom, he manages to capture some strange activity.
Yeah, it's the same video. Coordinated chair dancing. They're like doing the Thriller. Yeah, you gotta make sure you don't get your toes wet. Fucking will.
Good.
They're actually just like on a set and someone like turned the whole building
around in a strange manner, seemingly all by themselves, which understandably freaks him out. He exits the classroom for a moment before going back.
I feel like stuff like this is cool. Like, I think it's funny to see, but I know it's definitely someone with like who has all the chairs like tied to a string, or a stick is moving them underneath or something like that. But there's like part of the ground is movable. Plus those kind of chairs, those like white lawn chairs, everyone has fucking messed with those before. Like, you know how lightweight something like that is, and has like weird physics to it.
If the
like on a wet day, a lawn chair like that could like slide across like a smooth surface.
Having some more relaxing shifts these
if it was like a little windy or something. Because they're so lightweight.
Tim Morrisov is a popular YouTuber that frequently uploads videos of himself exploring various abandoned and allegedly haunted buildings from around the world, including ancient castles, manors, forests, and in this case, an old house. The video in question was uploaded to Tim's channel in August of 2017 and is absolutely packed with tons of chilling moments that are surely going to freak you out.
Seth Rogen.
As soon as Tim enters the dilapidated house,
hey, I'm Ghost Hunter Seth Rogen.
In order to see better as he creeps his way through the eerie and uncomfortably silent house. However, the silence is broken as you can see in these next few moments.
Я встал сегодня рано и очень сильно устал. Я уже готов уснуть, но нужно.
What if I was a ghost hunter who, when I got high, I saw ghosts in my bong that I made? What if I was a ghost that broke into your car? I call it Grand Theft Asshole.
Now, in the room where the rocking chair moved, I urge you to take a good look at the paint on the floor, because something strange happens, followed by yet another creepy incident shortly after, followed by a strange sound coming from somewhere inside.
You got knocked out on the cot. Passed out. Eh. There it goes. Man, they're getting into it.
Время сейчас 44.
was a cool sound, actually. Sound like a whale. Sound like a whale's blowhole.
Up to this point, the rocking chair has only ever moved while Tim has been looking in the opposite direction, but as you're about to see, this is the first time that it breaks away from that mold. Tim can only look on in complete awe at what he has just discovered.
Могло ли быть это чем-то естественным?
A couple of minutes later, Tim places a doll in the rocking chair and waits it out for about a minute, and sure enough, Tim witnesses something truly bizarre happen with it.
I think
right
the
in front of
blanket
his
makes it
eyes.
suspicious, honestly. It's something to do with the blanket.
Что у меня тут?
And the angle they're using. Like, why isn't the camera at the front of it?
The next series of
catapulted
events
out.
take
Why is that
place all
crazy?
within the same room as the rocking chair. But interestingly enough, not all of the following creepy moments happen with the chair this time around.
Get that shit out of here.
На свои вопросы. Почему вы не хотите мне помочь?
I don't want a doll on my fucking chair. I'm watching TV here. There we go.
Что это, мать твою, за скрипы оттуда? Это с того зеркала. О! Н. О! Оно. М. Е.
Really happening.
Кто вас тут держит? Черт. Я? Кто ты?
Shortly after this, Tim decides to call it a day and head home, which was probably for the best. Tim wasn't able to do a deep dive into the entirety of the house,
that's awesome.
seeing as how he was quite occupied with that one room which, as you can see, showed a surprisingly high amount of paranormal activity. Tim has not ventured back to this house for a second
Just fucking
investigation.
nails
Tim
him.
wasn't able to...
Я? Кто ты? Я? Кто ты?
His reaction to it is hilarious, though. Like, it's like he knows it's coming, so it's like a delayed collapse almost. Do you know what I mean? Like, he like throws himself, kind of. It's so fucking. It's like a. I don't know how to explain it.
Кто ты?
He just like throws himself. Oh my god.
Shortly after this, Tim decides to call it a day and head home,
That was
which
pretty
was
good.
probably for the best. Tim wasn't able to do a deep dive into the entirety of the house, seeing as how he was quite occupied with that one room which, as you can see, showed a surprisingly high amount of paranormal activity. Tim has not ventured back to this house for a second investigation, and honestly, who can blame him? And that was 5 scary videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary content. My name is Sir Spooks, and I'll see you all in the next video.
He has a trailer for a show? Let's see what this is. Episode 3 now available on Patreon.
We came back.
Or 3 episodes, rather.
Just open.
He's got like his own show he made, I guess. Is that a tall guy?
This place is haunted. We don't even know what to do.
It looks like a movie.
That building looks... Oh, dude.
That building looks...
It's a dead end.
Ooh, it looks nasty. I mean, obviously he knows what he's doing, or the queen wouldn't have knighted him.
Holy shit, dude. We're gonna die tonight.
That's cool. I can appreciate their spooks. He almost has 1 million subscribers. That's pretty cool. Oh. Yeah, I think it's Sir Mr. Bean. Put some respect on that name. Some respect on that damn name.
This is an abandoned factory that has been here before. There was always a lot of strange noise last time, but there was no incredible picture. Resources are scarce recently. I decided to lead everyone to this factory again. Let's play a magic game. Let's see if we can summon it. Oh, I forgot to tell the background story. Actually, I don't know the background story here. However, there is a zombie car parked here. The car is surrounded by cordon, so let's wait and see today.
Zombie
see if we
car?
can summon success. Because the video is too long, it is divided into 2 parts. The second part is definitely worth looking forward to.
动兵了，来吧，这个电影开始了。
The fuck is this?
重金购入2个笔直的蜡烛，这个蜡烛我花了好多钱才买到的。
You know, I thought it was a computer voice, but a bunch of people didn't think so, and now I'm starting to think maybe that is someone. I don't know. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Make it past the Turing test. Oh, I thought it was solid. That's spooky, dude. That looks deep. Like, if you fell onto that, you'd be fucked. It looks like... Like, what the fuck is that? Cooling water?
Why 边这么吵呢？老过车呀！兄弟们，这个地方太吵了，离路边太近了，我们换个地方行吗？各位萌萌，各位萌萌，各位鬼魂
，Ghosts，
大家晚上好。
Good evening, everyone.
我是户外小龙，初次来到这里面，我们又见面了。我希望今天各位，我们敞开心怀，你们都站出来，我们一起举路狂欢，让我们来一场人鬼情未了。希望你们听到我的呼。我操！我心里站俩人呢，妈了个逼，这给我吓的。
That scares me. Basketball court? What the fuck?
听到我的呼唤，你们可以跟我一起跳跳舞、唱唱歌。听到了吗？
What's up with the candles? What's the significance of like the red candle with like the symbols on it and stuff?
我操你妈的，这质量也太次了！这他妈不护士卡，操你妈，这还掉了呢，这还坏了呢，这耍没了。
Red candles are used for summoning
这
spirits.
告我铜的，是假的，这是。
Red's a lucky color.
这什么逼玩意儿呢？这是啊。
Yeah, I've never seen them use the candles.
兄弟们，这怎么不行了？这顶上都坏了，咱凑合玩吧。这声都不脆了。
The song is no longer brittle.
你这啥逼玩意儿？用满打满算没用10回呢，都摇折了。
Hasn't been used 10 times.
你这还让我怎么招领啊
Yeah, it looks pretty cold there. Oh, what's up, Jackal?
我操，是钟声吗？
We're just watching some ghost videos. After playing some ghost games. You guys are doing well. Thanks for the raid.
我操，是钟声吗
？Stream. The wall clock. Holy crap, Lois. I knew he was going to do that. I could feel it.
一点都不脆声。
Not crisp at all.
罗盘丢了，铃铛摔稀碎。
He's mad about the bell not making a good enough sound.
卡丢了，宝剑没了。你说他妈逼的，你说还有啥了？
Oh, there's a
搁啥
ghost
啥
right
弄好？
there.
就这点玩意儿全丢了。为啥我不爱带东西呢？那出来真丢。有人说小龙，你咋不带点护身的呢？我带个鸡巴带，我带啥丢啥。
I'll lose whatever I bring.
得想法把这玩意儿给它安上。这铃铛，这整不行。哎，这行。修上了。
It was repaired.
好了，修上了。
Okay, it's fixed.
天00，地00。
I don't know if he's
各位鬼魂，
nice
快显灵
as！much.
这声音对上了啊！咦，这个形象像他妈那波儿。
Yeah, it would be cool to see him actually like do something. Walk around with a bell for 20 minutes.
我感觉我应该回家了，兄弟们，在这块浪费时间没有意义了。我走了。
I wonder if those are like alerts or something for his stream.
走了，回去。
You think he would like get in trouble? He doesn't give a shit. So is that something he lit before, or are those just yeah? Okay, this is where the water was, right?
鬼魂咋不过来吃辣呢？
Why doesn't this ghost come and eat the wax?
他是怕我的法铃吗？啊？我感觉应该他是怕我的法铃。真的，兄弟们，我给我的法铃收起来，行吗？
Yeah, but what does it mean? Like, what was it to portray? He used like the what face before. I saw that. What?
我看这回还
Interesting.
我上回来反正气氛都不一样。上回来，这个地方这里边全是声，然后这回你发现了吗？就是有一种不一样的感觉，就很轻松在这里面。
Today is very relaxing.
然后呢又很静，然后又感觉像有什么事情要发生一样。虽然说我们现在这摆着蜡，给这地方在招着灵，但是狗鸡巴没招着。
Nothing happened.
但是显然呢，不是我的错，是因为就法器它就不好使了，到这嘎达就坏了。我感觉这里面法器应该是镇不住这个萌萌了，所以呢，他把我的法器就干坏了。这里面应该就有好多好多的灵在里面守候着，所以我现在要带里面检查一圈，如果没鸡巴事儿呢，那咱就撒丫子，咱就走。Who are here? My boy.
My boy.
My girl. Come on.
Never heard him do that before.
我他妈发现这个蜡他妈的不对，他咋怎么老冒黑烟呢？是恶鬼投食吗？嘿。
Running.
"我操你妈！哎，我好像看出这篮球框动了呢。
It is.
哎，哎。
Yeah, the dust is insane in there.
我刚才我也看到一个小灯，不知道是什么灯。
The hell is it?
这里边有体育鬼吗？来吧，你现身吧，来，我陪你玩一会儿。我放下大悲咒啊。来，我超度你，来，我减轻你的怨念，你不要在这里边了。
It was just coming out of nowhere.
谁呀？
Yeah, for some reason, it's always cold when he, like, for the past, like, 6 months of his videos. You can always see his breath wherever they are. It seems like it's fucking cold constantly. I don't remember the last time I saw one where it seemed like they were in, like, a more temperate area. Like, I've seen a few, but it seems like that's always really, really cold. Yeah, it could be a backlog. It could be somewhere like maybe they're like really up high in the mountains or something like that. Nah, they don't usually say exactly where they are. It's a lot of abandoned shit though. So for some reason I feel like they're up somewhere high. Slow motion. I love that. That fucking little clip.
啥逼玩意儿跑出去了？哎，我不知道你们看没看着这干什么逼玩意儿了？你们看着吗？哥，我也没看着。
I like the rocking chair.
哎，我操你妈！拉！
Was it one of his candles? It's nothing.
我操你妈！给你香火你不吃呗
Excuse me? Give you incense, you won't eat it? Is he talking about the candle and the wax?
这蜡应该是大头朝下的，这怎么反过来了呢？这蜡也不对，它灭有一功夫了。现在这个念正常，它是烧完之后它应该是软的，它现在它已经是干巴的状态了。我刚才我不知道你们看没看到，我给你们香火，你们不收吗？啊？看到那是什么东西没？ 操你妈！我这俩蜡，我放那嘎，如果他带倒，操你妈，我就不给他点了。我不知道你们看没看到那个地方，我也没注意，你知道不？我就看着一个东西嗖啦的就进去了，但不知道是什么东西，挺大个声，动物应该是，不知道啥动物，不能是蛇吧？
Yeah, they're offended. It's not the more expensive candle. It looks like a big, like, bay door, like it's like for a truck or something. Little truck garage or some shit. Fire station, maybe? I don't know. I can tell he kind of likes he has a giant open area to walk around in. What? What? What are we looking at? Coming.
在附近呢。
But they're in a giant room. Like, I feel like candles don't stay lit very well. It's like... Especially him running around the fucking room. Like, if you run by a candle as fast as you can, it might go out. It might go out.
是。你妈了个！
Where it was going out. Apparently.
你怕我吗？
Are you afraid of me? I'm not afraid of you.
来，你告诉我你在哪来？嘿。我怎么感觉像着这个篮筐似的呢
？What？
我操你妈！就这声。来来来，现身来。就是凿这个板的声。
The sound of this hitting the board.
现身！啊！
嗯。The fuck? What is that? Like switch swinging? What is hanging from it though?
我操你妈！
Yeah, there's a million things that could make something move. Or make sounds. Even just like water. Moving makes a sound. I can like freak people out if they don't know what they're listening to. What the fuck is this place? Some kind of factory? Actually, I think that's what he said it was. The B-ball factory. What is this thing? Come on, show yourself. What?
Maybe.
Yeah, OSHA.
我觉得我真的我应该在这里边溜达溜达了，而不是等他了。 兄弟们，来，我想把蜡吹了。哎，我看错了咋的？那屋里边这蜡，这个屋里边有个光呢，刚才。是不是有一个小白光？
嗯。What is even happening?
我听，哎，像车声似的。哎。
I like the transparency wasn't out of that. There's no alpha channel for that fucking animation. All right. But how about this video?
EV1150 began to suspect that something wasn't quite right around his home. He was hearing strange noises and felt like something was wrong.
Apparently there's a second part to that
while
video.
Trying to get some sleep, a loud banging started emanating from their
That's not out
closet.
yet.
They grabbed their phone to document the noise. Take a look.
Get up. Get up. Get up. What are you recording me for? You here. Listen.
Guys, like, what the fuck?
They search the cupboard, but there's nothing there.
That Ouija board. I'm getting in this room. I can't sleep in here.
Another clip shows something a little more visceral. Again, the uploader felt like something was off, so they grabbed their phone and began filming. Take a look at what they captured.
Hey guys, I think this might be the last time.
At first, it can be hard to
Is it a
see,
face?
but if you slow it down and brighten the image, you can make out a strange shadowy figure standing in the room.
The fuck?
Viewers were terrified by this encounter, with most comments checking in to see if the uploader
That was like a different room.
okay. Some thought they could hear a small child whispering in the background. Others felt the presence was demonic in nature. So what do you think's been captured on camera here? Let me know your take down below.
Let me know your take.
With Christmas just around the corner, now's the perfect time to start a Paranormal Investigation
Slapped
YouTube
hand
channel
shirt.
based in Russia. They often travel to eerie abandoned properties that more often than not present some very bizarre and
Oh, that
inexplicable
looks
activity.
fucking bizarre.
In this clip, they investigate a rural abandoned village
Yo,
in Russia.
I go to a different school.
No one knows why the town was abandoned,
I think
but
for
over
like 2
the
months.
years it's been dubbed the Village of the Dead.
You rocking and swaying?
It's rumored to be
You rolling
haunted
and
by the
growling?
spirits of its former occupants. but just what happened to them remains a mystery.
Shamrock
The following
Roll
video
swag.
seems to suggest a terrible tragedy took place that may have taken the lives of several villagers. The uploader explores the deserted village.
Реально мертвая деревня. Такое ощущение, будто бы я попал в прошлое.
This is like a creepy looking place, though. Wherever the hell they are. Looks like Outlast 2.
Early on, he comes across an old-fashioned windmill, a relic that
That's
suggests
just
that
the way it
people
looks.
haven't lived here for a very long
That's
time.
fucking creepy. If you went to an abandoned barn and it just had a giant windmill in it, like that was like still working, I don't know, dude. There are a couple ghost towns out here, but there's not really much left of them now. There used to be this cool place called Dudley Town that we went to, and I think there's nothing left but like a foundation now. So I bit
While
the tip of my
exploring
fucking
the
tongue.
area, something eerie can be heard in the distance.
Yeah, I get that feeling from
Я раньше такой крик слышал.
all of these places. Also, it's seasonal too, I think, where it gets so cold.
In order to thoroughly
There's no
investigate the
point in
town, the uploader
staying there.
places several cameras around the property.
Yeah, I think that's how it all works. It's just everyone feeding off each other and
About
and
halfway through the
paranormal
video, one of the
investigation.
cameras captures something chilling. Watch.
Certain people are just, you know, only scared if someone else is scared. Etc. Oh my god, that looks so fake. That looks dumb. Yeah, the Dudley brothers were from there. Get the
Watching that
tables!
Again, we can hear some strange noises when suddenly a shadow appears out of nowhere.
Yvonne, get the tables!
Later, they set up some equipment to try and communicate with any
Yeah, there's a lot of, like,
spirits
ghost
that might
towns
be
out
lingering
west.
in the old house. Several minutes in, a rather unsettling.
This is... Are you kidding me? Is this a fucking joke to you? The smiley face. It's like a pumpkin. Like even orange colored. That's got to be on purpose. This is spooky. It's spooky. The
Conversation
pumpkin
takes
ghost
place.
device. Spooky.
Кто ты? Что с тобой случилось? Как ты умер?
It's spooky.
Ты меня видишь?
Ghost play Pokemon. That'd be sick. That's a good idea.
Кто он?
The fuck? The lighting in this is so weird.
Попытайся вспомнить, что с тобой произошло.
Everybody scream! Fucking song was that from? Somebody scream! We are dying. No, it was like a dumb, like, 90s club song. Is it a Coolio thing? Makes sense.
Towards the end of the clip, another eerie
Hey, what the fuck was that?
happens.
It's like
Watch.
age, sex, location. I think it just went on for too long. This place doesn't look that old. This looks like that pine and lumber is not really showing a lot of age. It's like a lodge.
If we take another look at that, you can hear footsteps move quickly towards the camera holder.
Yeah, if I had better service, I would do more IRL stuff, but you're like bound by which data you can get, really.
This final encounter is the last straw for the YouTuber, as they finally decide to call it a night and leave the area immediately. So what caused this rural village to become abandoned?
Does look like
Is it
Resident Evil
really
8 though, or
haunted?
something like.
Well, according to the conversation we heard, it's possible a fire ripped through the town.
It could just be
causing some
quaint.
of
It does
the
look like
residents to
fucking
lose
some
their
Tarkov
lives.
village you would like be
It's
hiding
even
in.
suggested that the event was so traumatic that their spirits have been trapped here ever since.
Never since. Well, the big backpack thing makes it easier because it has the things that make the stream look really good in it. You really need like a hot spot from a carrier,
This
so
clip
like a
was uploaded to the YouTube channel, Nothing Inside,
dedicated,
with some CCTV footage captured in an elderly home. It appears the cameras have caught something. rather
device
odd.
for
Take a
getting
look.
you internet basically wherever you are. And then it
As
has
you
like
can
a
see, a
camera built
transparent
into it and
shape lifts
stuff.
up from
And then it
the
has the
chair and
batteries built
passes to
into
the
it.
right of
Why it's like a
screen.
big backpack. There's a bunch of shit in it. Gunrun
Seconds
used to have
later,
like
it returns, then disappears completely.
a list of the things in the live stream backpack. You could rent one too, I think.
Here's the image again, but brightened up.
A little expensive though. What a lot of IRL streamers used to do that. They would like rent it.
Unfortunately, there's almost no information about this clip. Where and when it took place remains unknown. This makes it difficult to research the history of the property. It's well known, though, that elderly homes see a lot of death inside their halls, so some viewers are certain this transparent figure is the spirit of a former resident, perhaps someone that passed away in this very chair.
Chair looks awful. The bad chair.
This next snippet of security footage was uploaded by Paseo Infinito. It shows the inside of a warehouse as two workers go about their day.
Fucking one frame a
But as
second.
you're about to see, one of these workers becomes the brunt of something unusual. Take a look.
Yeah, I used to do unlimited. Oh my god.
A giant piece of circular wood suddenly flies towards the man.
It didn't land on him? Oh, like knocked him over.
Luckily,
Oh my
the man
God.
wasn't injured, but I'm sure he was
What
left
the
shaken
fuck?
by the strange encounter.
I feel like that could happen.
So what could
Like
have
someone,
caused this
we don't see what's
enormous piece
happening
of wood
to the right
suddenly
there.
move like that? Some viewers suggested a sudden gust of wind. However,
Yeah?
this footage takes place inside a warehouse,
So
which
what?
would rule this out.
Wind could
Others
come
thought it
inside.
might just be a prank, which could be true, but it just seems
It's
a little
just a
bit too
prank.
harsh to launch an object that large and heavy at an unsuspecting colleague. So that leaves the
However,
paranormal theories.
they were
A bunch of
working
viewers
in a
thought it had
warehouse
to
where
be an angry
gravity
poltergeist.
does not exist.
As always, I'll throw this out to you, the viewer. What do you think's been captured on camera here? Let me know down below. This bizarre piece of footage aired to
This
millions of people
warehouse
around
does
the world
not
on
obey
live
the
TV.
laws of physics.
On a segment of Inside the NBA, we see basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal behaving strangely.
Come on.
Two-time champion of the All-Star Weekend.
It's like all low res and shit.
Talent show.
You are talented. I give you a little credit on that. A lot of credit.
He's just
As you can
memeing.
see, the program returns from commercials when it seems Shaq has paused.
The reigning
I hope he like glitches
two-time
out.
champion of the All-Star Weekend.
He doesn't move. He doesn't blink. It barely looks like he's breathing.
A little credit on that. A lot of credit. You can very.
This goes on for several minutes as the rest of the team banters among themselves.
What's like the context? Like, why are they completely
You both had
ignoring him?
experience singing New York, New York. His was at the slam dunk contest. Yours was in Vegas.
Yes.
We had the show out there. Here's just a
Like they
little
know he's just
sampling.
fucking around.
Eventually, Shaq seems to snap out of the trance-like state and
'Cause they
rejoins his
don't wanna
fellow
give him attention.
broadcasters.
New York.
Hey, yo, let me lead, bro. Let me lead. I got
Naturally, theories ran rampant when this segment aired on live TV. People said Shaq was everything from a malfunctioning clone to an alien, a robot, and even a lizard man receiving a transmission from HQ. The Freemasons were even implicated by one comment who thought a grand conspiracy was unfolding before our very eyes. Of course, a lot of people were genuinely worried that Shaq may have experienced a micro stroke or some kind of seizure.
I don't think so. I don't think that they would have just allowed that to happen.
So, until someone confronts Shaq directly, this bizarre piece of live TV will have to remain a mystery.
New York.
Hey, yo, let me lead, bro. Let me lead. I got you.
I think he was just fucking being funny.
In October 2019, a hunter in southwestern British Columbia captured something truly bizarre.
Man, those
on his
dogs are
trail
weird
cam.
looking.
The footage was uploaded to their YouTube channel, The Facts by HowToHunt.com.
Nice.
The hunter, Steve, explains that this particular area
HowToHunt.com.
deep in the BC wilderness is known for strange events and mysterious sightings. He says he often feels an inexplicable pressure surround him when approaching certain areas. Footprints of unknown animals have been discovered, and large figures have been spotted by various hunters moving through the woods. Now, take a look at what the trail cam captured. As you can see, there's a trail of shining lights, almost like eyes glowing in the darkness. Whatever they are, there's a procession of them, all in a row.
What are they?
The hunter notes that where this footage was captured, there's a steep slope just behind the tree in the foreground. Here's a daytime shot of the hunter standing next to the tree for reference.
Yeah, it could be a bunch of stuff. Hard to tell, like, you can see light from pretty fucking far away at night.
The uploader estimates, because the ground falls away
It does kinda
sharply,
look like
that
a
the eyes
firefly or
belong
something
to
there.
something that is at least 12 to 13 feet tall. So what could these lights or eyes belong to? The hunter ends the video by saying it is what it is and doesn't speculate too much on what he thinks it could be. Commenters
Your
threw all kinds of
eyes.
theories out there,
You
from a
would
family
not
of raccoons
believe.
in the trees in the distance, to aliens, Bigfoot, and even a spirit. Although, until more footage comes to hand, we'll never truly know what these things are. So what's your take on this? Let me know in the comment section down below.
Not enough information. Not enough info. My humble opinion.
Before we take a look at a bizarre UFO sighting in North America, remember to caress that subscribe button there, then tickle that little bell icon there. SP shared this UFO sighting in November of 2021, and it's been puzzling viewers ever since. The clip, which was captured in an unknown part of North America, shows a bizarre object.
What are you doing over there?
In the blue sky.
Tickle on the subscription button. When you have a kid crying in the video, that always adds more validity to it.
It's a long, cigar-shaped white object.
What is it?
It just hovers mysteriously through the air.
It's going right.
The camera holder is clearly excited by the sighting.
Whoa!
Could it be like a space rock? Like a rocket launch, I mean?
No one really knows what this object could be. It seems too large to be a lost balloon, and it's not shaped like a conventional drone. Many have said that it has to be aliens, that it's some kind of ship conducting surveillance on Earth. While it's impossible
the fucking
to definitely say
broom.
this is true, the strange nature
It's
of the
going
craft
home.
certainly does make you wonder whether aliens are visiting our planet.
UFOs are shaped like brooms, piloted by witches.
No.
Now, if you can't get enough of
It's
our
the real
content,
alien.
then don't worry, we've got you covered. Check out that.
Kind of makes you think. You know what I mean? Kind of makes you think. Right? I mean, I still say every rocket is a dick anyways. They're all dick-shaped. When everyone's cool about hanging out for a bounty or whatever. Whatever it is. I really appreciate it. Let's watch some more stuff for a bit. Yeah, thanks again. Let's watch. I almost clicked on, there was an Oni Plays animation, and it looks like one of the scary assassin rapper videos. But it's just Nostalgia Critic, but it looks like an animation that guy made. All right, let's watch another slapped ham.
How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, Assassin Rapper's legit. Should tell everyone about him. I hope that guy gets mad subs. He puts out so many videos.
I'm Callan, and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at
We need
some
more
mysterious
assassin rappers in
videos
the
that are
world.
leaving viewers perplexed. So hit that subscribe
Make more people
button
smile.
and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. While trail cams are designed to give us a glimpse of the wildlife that's living in certain areas,
Trail cams?
they sometimes catch some rather creepy
Meat Canyon.
things.
Why does that sound familiar?
Reddit user LoversEvolXAnnaX shared a series of terrifying images from his uncle's trail cam that's been haunting users ever since. The Redditor explains that the camera is set up at their deceased grandparents' house, which is now empty, and that the device takes 3 photos in quick succession whenever it detects movement. Take a look at what the camera has captured. The figure is disheveled
Love
and dirty
is
and appears to be
evil.
wearing tattered, worn-out
Xanax.
clothing.
It says Xanax at the end of their channel name.
It's also been noted that it looks like the person's carrying something in their arms.
Slapped ham is more like rum ham.
As unnerving as the figure is, possibly the creepiest part of the Redditor's story is that it only appears in one of the 3 photos.
Imagine being that into your drug of choice that you
Sometime
put
later,
it into your
the
fucking
Redditor shared
YouTube
2
channel
more
name.
chilling images that appear to show the same figure roaming the property. As for theories, Redditors had a lot of them. Some believe that it was most likely a homeless person who was living on the property.
Looked like
Others, however, turned to the
Slipknot member.
paranormal for an explanation. They suggested it could have been a ghost, as it only appeared in one of the 3 initial photos. So what do you think's been caught on this trail cam? Homeless person, ghost, or could it be something else entirely? Hopefully this is a one-time occurrence and the mysterious figure won't appear on the property ever again. When you think of places you might find a ghost, a restaurant probably doesn't come to mind, yet it seems it could be more common than one might expect. Reddit user Carmina Cat shared a video to the social media platform of a
I hate
possible
the ones that are
paranormal
just
entity that was caught on a
CCTV footage that's like
morning.
on a monitor though.
The footage, which was captured in San Diego, California, has been sparking debate online ever
like so hard to tell what's
since.
going on.
Take a look. Watching the clip again, we can see the restaurant just as a ghostly figure appears out of nowhere.
Especially
It
with
walks to
security
the right of
footage using
screen
like
and
hard
soon
drives
disappears from view.
that maybe aren't meant for security purposes. Like it could be just like super like, you know, footage bleeding into the
What makes the footage extra creepy
other
is that
footage
the original
somehow.
poster
Pretty sure
explains
that
that
happens a
they
lot.
used to be the manager of the restaurant and that there was actually no one on the premises at the time of the recording. Despite this, some viewers were reluctant to believe that a ghost had been caught on camera. They suggested that it was probably just a human, and if this is the case, then the footage might actually show a burglar. Regardless of the figure's true identity, there's little denying that the video does indeed show a rather creepy situation. One that supposedly spooked the managers so much that after viewing the footage, they said they used to run out of the store as soon as they closed for the day because it freaked them out so much.
Every time I hear someone say the word burglar, I think of Burgermeister.
Have you ever heard an eerie disembodied voice?
The
If this clip is to be
Burgermeister,
believed,
what's his
then
name?
Redditor
From the
Pineapple
Kris Kringle story?
4541 may have just managed to capture one on tape.
Oh,
What
look
was
at the
supposed
dog.
to be a simple video of her roommate's dog seems to have quickly turned into something far more sinister.
I feel
As
bad for the
clip
dog.
begins, we can see the dog seems to be covered in some sort of feathery material.
What the fuck?
on you?
From the guilty expression on the animal's face, it looks
He, like,
as though
ripped
it
a pillow
knows
open or
it's done
something?
something wrong. The woman urges the dog to follow her, where she leads it into a bedroom.
Kobe.
Oh, his name's Kobe.
There we can see that the blanket's been ripped open and feathers are strewn everywhere.
How did this happen?
The fucking dog ripped it open.
Kobe. Kobe. How did this happen? Come here.
Joby. Aw,
If you watch the
Joby.
video with the sound off, it seems to be little more than a cute clip showing a dog's guilty reaction. However, those with a keen ear might actually be able to hear a creepy disembodied voice near the very beginning of the clip. Have a listen.
What is on you? Are you okay? What is on you?
I hear
The
like
voice seems to be
whispering.
saying, "Let me in."
It's the dog. He's talking to you.
Okay? What is on you?
What makes the video unnerving is that there doesn't seem to be anyone else in the house besides the one woman and the dog.
Kobe.
As usual, several Redditors gave possible explanations. Some believe that the sound was actually made by the dog itself, as the supposed voice can be heard just as it moves its mouth.
Are you okay? What is on you?
Others seemed more disturbed by the voice, believing that it could be a demon with ill intentions. It's thought by some paranormal experts that the phrase "let me in" is commonly associated with dark entities who are looking to possess people, animals, or even places. So what do you think? Take another listen
Or
to the
even
eerie audio and let me
places.
know your thoughts.
Thanks for the raid,
down
Chaos
below.
Ghost.
Are you okay?
Appreciate it, dude. Hope you had a good stream.
What is on you?
This next video, shared to TikTok by Durban Paranormal, shows something rather eerie that was caught on the uploader's home security camera. Take a look.
Is it Durban what? A D2 driver. Good to hear, dude. Glad to hear.
Watching that again, we can see what at
Just
first
watching some
appears
ghost
to be a person
videos.
walking by.
For some reason.
However, as they make their way from left to right, they seem to become increasingly transparent. Then, just as they reach the driveway, they completely vanish into thin air.
Yeah, I think this is just more footage being recorded over again.
With more of the world than ever under constant video surveillance, could it be possible
Like,
that
look at
these
the way
devices are
you can see it being weird right there.
With more of the world than ever under constant video surveillance,
like that's
could it
fucked
be
up. That
possible
does not
that
look
these
right.
devices
Like you can see
are
your
actually
foot
capturing
way
ghosts and other
longer than
paranormal
you should be
entities
able to.
manifesting when no
Like
one's
there's something
around.
wrong with the
It is
hard
thought
drive or
that
something.
many of these outdoor home security cameras have a poor ability to correctly capture moving
Or the camera,
figures
I don't
while
know.
in night mode, and skeptics often chalk these types
Or yeah,
of
like the
sightings up
like
as
the
little more
brightness
than
or
a simple
gamma
glitch.
is fucked up or something.
While this certainly could be the case, what would a real ghost caught on camera actually look like? I dare say
It almost
would
looks
very
like one of
much
the
look
Fresno
like what we're
Nightcrawler or
seeing
something
here.
like that. What was it? The Fresno Nightwalker? Nightcrawler? What the fuck was it called? I love the word Nightcrawler.
Many people associate ghosts with terrifying, unexplained occurrences, but what if they could also be responsible for strange yet not so terrifying events? Retail worker Vidyabum24 shared a photo to Reddit
Vidyabum.
given to her by a customer that possibly shows some not so scary paranormal activity. Take a look. In the photo,
Wonder if they
we
watched
see a straw
Germa.
wrapper seemingly suspended in mid-air. The customer
Okay.
supposedly told the Redditor that she had left
Okay.
the wrapper on the bench.
What
However,
the
when she came
fuck?
downstairs around midnight to get a drink, she saw it floating in mid-air.
Come on.
The woman then allegedly tried waving her arms
This is
around
the
the
dumbest
wrapper to see if
shit
it was
ever.
hanging from a spider's web or something similar, though she felt nothing.
You could turn
Apparently,
the
this
fucking
wasn't the
shutter
first time
speed
she
and
had
ISO down to
experienced
take a
strange
picture or something like
goings-on
that.
in her house. Still, despite the customer's story, several Redditors
Assassin
who saw the photo
rapper.
thought that the
Wow.
spider's web had to be the
Nice
most
job.
likely explanation.
Give
Whatever
you a
was
+2 for that
responsible,
one.
one thing's for sure. Seeing anything floating in the middle of the night would likely freak out even the most diehard
Give
of
you Reddit
paranormal
gold.
skeptics.
You get Reddit gold.
Orbs, supernatural entities, or mere dust
Orbs.
particles? This debate has divided the paranormal community for years. Often it
It
seems
looks like a
that dust
giant,
or
like,
insects can
dandelion.
explain many so-called orb sightings, yet occasionally
Above
a
a
video
cat.
surfaces that may prove otherwise. In this footage shared to Reddit
It's
by
the spirit of the
Jibi-san,
cat.
we see what at first looks like a typical orb. However, take note of the way it moves. The object seems to fly about with purpose. Usually this means that it's probably just an insect, yet this mysterious shape remains completely spherical no matter how far it is from the camera.
Completely spherical.
Furthermore, just after the halfway point of the clip, a notification appears on the screen indicating that the camera has detected movement.
And a movement. Dude, I hate Xfinity so much.
This is something that both dust particles and insects rarely cause. So what do you think this video shows? Take another look and let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments section down below. Before we take a look at some super unnerving home security footage, Remember to caress that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications.
I don't want to.
That way
I
you'll
don't
be
want
in
to
the
tickle
loop
it.
every
I'm
time we
already
drop our
subscribed.
Scary and mysterious videos. Whether or not this
Just
next
say
video
click.
has captured something paranormal is certainly debatable. Yet it's hard to deny that it does show something very creepy. The footage uploaded to TikTok by Alex Shao Howard shows a feed taken from a home security system. A few seconds into the clip, we see a mysterious figure enter the frame. They walk slowly around the vehicle, then suddenly they look up at the camera, revealing large eyes that seem to glow in the dark. They then bend down and begin rummaging through the shoes on the doorstep. After some time, the figure decides on a pair, gathers them up, then quietly slinks off into the darkness.
What?
After seeing the clip, most viewers were in agreement that this was not a ghost at all, but rather a real person dressed in unusual clothing. Strangely, the clothes seem as though they're in good condition, and the figure's face and hair appear to be well groomed. Another unusual note is that the figure seems to know exactly where the camera is positioned, yet chooses to stare directly into the lens rather than attempting to hide their identity.
They look fucking scary.
This clip is certainly unnerving to say the least.
That was like
Imagine
fucking
discovering
creepier
that
than
your shoes
anything.
have gone missing, only to review the security footage and see this eerie person staring back at you.
Oh my god. Did you have a fucking mask on? The fuck, dude?
Now, if you want to see some more creepy videos, then check out that link on the top there. Otherwise, there's a scary playlist right there that'll freak you out well until the evening, we promise.
Sir slapped ham. So slapped ham. Alright, let's watch something else. Let's watch something else. I don't know what. Not sure. Exactly. Let me look through my history. Dun, dun, dun. I wanted to show you a part from this Curtis Connor video that came out of this late. It's called Canada's Worst Driver. This lady driving. She was like really bad. This dude they were talking to. Talks about how many times he's got into a hit and run.
Awesome. Tyler's wife,
Is it this lady who's really bad?
Jana, says he has a habit that's worse than hitting and running.
Yeah, it's drinking and driving. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
You drink and drive? Sometimes I have to have a few beers just to relax and so I can drive. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Canada, we got to get our act together, man. We got to figure it out. This guy's had 20 hit and runs and he drives drunk and he's still allowed to just keep driving? What the fuck? I mean, I understand you've never seen it.
This lady
terrified
is fucking
the crew
crazy.
who shot her bio last week so much, no one will ride with her.
That really hurts my feelings that nobody wants to get in the car with me.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. This is me when I rip insane amounts of
It
ass
does
in
look
the
like
front
Velma.
seat, so none of my
And
friends
she's not
wanna get in
doing
the car
anything
with
to help
me.
it by wearing the orange
He
shirt.
wants to get in the car with me.
Dude, it's crazy because I don't even feel bad about laughing at this girl. I don't feel bad at all. Because you're going to see going forward, she sucks. She's the worst.
During the first 5 minutes of her drive, Crystal goes 70 in a 40 zone.
What's the speed limit here?
Steven, directions only.
She drives on a sidewalk.
It's okay, I'll get off the sidewalk.
She sends numerous text messages.
Oh, how embarrassing.
She bursts into tears.
I'm not the worst driver.
Yeah, no, I think you are, actually. I think you are the worst driver, Crystal. Bro, like, if you're gonna act like a maniac behind the wheel, like, at least own it. Don't fucking do a bunch of crazy shit and then cry about it. What the
And then
fuck,
she
dude?
gets the worst
Crystal
driver at
gets
the end.
absolutely dunked on. It's incredible.
I'm gonna look you in the eye and tell you you're a selfish idiot. I think you're probably the worst driver we've ever had here. And so much of that comes from a place of selfishness. The way you drive
Get her.
can only be described as the driving of a horrible person.
Whoa, Andrew, young husband. Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's Canadian.
Dude, there's your fucking PSA right there, bro. You better drive safe unless you want to get absolutely degraded by Andrew Younghusband. Totally unrelated to that. If you happen to see me driving recklessly around Canada, mind your business. But anyways, later in the
when they give her
episode,
the award
Mike,
at the
the
end.
guy who was in a coma, confronts Cody and his reckless driving, and that really changes his perspective on everything.
Mike definitely changed my life. I never used to think when I was on the road. I always did stupid things, and I realized how much of an idiot I was.
Damn, imagine discovering empathy on live television.
Yeah, Curtis
man.
Connor's
Dude, I never
mullet.
thought my own actions.
He looks like
had
Howie
consequences.
Mandel in '95.
What the fuck? I thought all the other people in the other cars were just sacks of potatoes.
Look up Howie Mandel from
Tell me they're
Bobby's
fucking
World.
real people?
Him and Curtis Connor look exactly
This whole
the same.
time? That's the end of the first episode, but I skimmed through the entire season because I just want to know who the worst driver was. And believe it or not, the worst driver was Crystal. Wow, shocker.
Yep, I'm the worst driver.
So what happens now, right? What happens if they're the last person there? What happens if they're Canada's worst driver? Let's find out.
We tried our best. What can I tell you? Buckle up, Alberta. She's coming home.
Yeah, she just goes home now. Andrew, hey Andy. Hey Andy, young husband. Hey Andy, young hubby.
That was pretty funny. If you want to watch the rest of the video, I'll link it. It's funny to me that Canada has its own like shows like that I never even knew existed. Because I would enjoy them. I like that stuff. It's funny. Oh, Canada. I don't know. You'd be surprised what people can get away with driver's licenses. It's a fucked up world. What else have I watched? What the fuck else? I might play some Tarkov in a bit. Trying to find some other videos though.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we watched some Assassin Rapper. We did.
Congratulations on becoming an alpha tester for Metaverse. You will soon be joining a shared VR space with spatial audio, accompanied by Mark Zuckerberg, who will test this environment with you.
Why does this look like it's in like...
Hey, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the metaverse. Starting with the most important experience of all, Sweet Baby Ray's.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the metaverse. I like barbecuing, and I guess I'm a Sweet Baby Ray's fanboy.
I've never seen this with like the 360 before.
Mark Zuckerberg offers you his Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Nod your Metaverse licensed headset to accept. Shake your Metaverse licensed headset to decline. Head shake detected. You are about to decline Mark's offer. Nod your Metaverse licensed headset to confirm the rejection. Shake your Metaverse licensed headset. Head nod detected. You decline Mark's offer. Mark did not like that. Meta has dispatched a hitman to your location at Mark Zuckerberg's request. You may feel your Meta licensed headset tightening. Soon you will be unable to remove it. This is normal and follows the terms of service that you previously accepted.
It was just a chin. It was just a chin. That's all it was. All right. Yo, Hellfire. Going on, dude. Thank you for that resub. Thank you for that 5 months. Appreciate it. Doing well. All right, this channel cracks me up. Unexplained mysteries. It's always like, this drone accidentally made a chilling discovery. Archaeologists make incredible discovery. Expert claims there's a secret planet lurking inside the Milky Way galaxy that's home to alien life. Something huge is happening. And the comments are always like, so funny. Like, this is normal. I just like reading the comments on that channel. Because all the the titles are just so bad. There's always like someone explaining what he was like talking about in the thing. It's like, no, actually, that's not what's happening. Let's watch something else. There hasn't been a new Mr. Ballin in a few weeks because I think he got like 2 strikes on YouTube and he has to be careful. He's like trying to figure it out, I think, with them. I guess they gave him a strike for like sexual nudity content and none of his videos like have anything like that. It's like very weird. Hopefully he gets that figured out. I like his channel. Yeah, I like top 5s. I used to watch him all the time. He's one of the ones that got me into all the fucking weird YouTube videos. I don't watch him as much now, but I used to a lot. I want to watch something different. I'm going to watch some Curious Archive. This is going to be more sci-fi.
Of the future often imagine vast technological structures
I really like this channel.
shatter the mind with their sheer scale.
Megastructures in
These
space.
hypothetical objects are called megastructures. And although it would take countless technological leaps to ever construct one, cosmic-scale megastructures may one day become scientific fact. But what kinds of structures are future humans likely to create? What would it be like to live on
Dyson
one?
spheres
And what's the science behind these speculative wonders? One of my favorite science fiction illustrators, Neil Blevins, has been hard at work answering these very questions, creating a visual encyclopedia of megastructures that both explains the science behind the objects
this channel's
and
awesome.
includes paintings and diagrams to bring them to life.
This guy's
Blevins
great.
is planning to release the full encyclopedia next year, which you can order using the links below and also follow and support
I've
his
never
work.
seen this before.
And for this special
What is
entry
this?
into the archive, Neil Blevins has given me permission to show you a sneak peek of various megastructures, from orbiting space habitats to solar system spanning stellar engineering projects. So let's embark on a journey through a myriad of possible futures
so cool.
and experience the mind-shattering scale of megastructures. Imagine an artificial ring of unfathomable size.
It's a Halo ring,
large
isn't it?
enough to maintain an artificial
The
atmosphere
Halo ring,
and
something that
habitable land.
Bungie they made up, or was that like a sci-fi concept that someone else made up, or was that like a Halo concept?
This is a ring
Or was it based
world
on something else completely different? I know Ring World exists, but is that what the Halo is supposed to be? Like, I know what the Halo is, but
theoretical structure, and one you might have
Because that just
seen
looks
across
exactly
science
like
fiction.
Halo.
Ring worlds have come in all different shapes and sizes throughout various forms of media, but the ring world Blevins imagines is unfathomably
But the Ring World's usually around a sun, but the ones in Halo aren't, right? They're just like out in the middle of nowhere.
vast.
Is there like
His
relays?
model is of a
Forget how it
stellar
works.
scale ring.
I gotta play Halo
meaning it
again
is large
sometime.
enough to encircle the sun, potentially millions of miles across. Building a structure of this size would require
And I got into it through, I think it's called Galactic Civilizations. It was like one of the first PC games I got on Steam when I got into Steam back in the day. And you like design your entire civilization for like custom designs. You like make your own ships and stuff. And I remember you get like so technologically advanced that you can like make
an
ring worlds
incredible
eventually.
amount of raw material, perhaps taken from asteroids within and beyond our solar system. And to simulate Earth-like gravity,
fun
the
game.
entire
They
ring
still make 'em,
world
I
would
think.
need to spin. If that sounds surprising, you've likely experienced something similar if you've ever been pushed against the edge of a merry-go-round while it spun at high speeds. Or rotating
Yeah, it's
ring
way more
world would
low-tech than
produce the
Stellar
feeling
is.
of gravity using
I have all the
essentially
DLC, I
same
gotta play that
principle,
game.
meaning that walking on the surface of one would feel pretty normal. A ring world of this size could even have nights as well as days, through the use of a segmented inner ring that rotates faster to cast shadows on the outer ring's surface. Ideally, life on a ring world would be a lot like life on Earth, just a bit roomier, as a stellar-scale ring world could have over 1 million times the area of our own planet. But rings aren't the only possible
That's so
shape for a
fucking cool.
megastructure. An even wilder design
like-
is that of a Bernal sphere.
I think there have definitely been fantasy novels written about that. I know George R.R. Martin has written a few, but like a ring world like that's so like millions of times bigger than our entire planet, but it's like made of like terrestrial materials that you can like walk on and stuff. Like completely like there's like some kind of catastrophe and like technology is declines and like it's like a fantasy thing based on like a huge ring world or something like that. It's such a cool concept, like Star Ocean 2 or something like that almost. That's why a lot of people thought that Game of Thrones was going to be like that eventually. Like they're going to find like guns or nukes buried underground because George R.R. Martin has written like a bunch of stories like about that basically.
From its industrial exterior, this sphere might not look like a pleasant place to live. On the hollow interior, however, a spectacular colony could be supported.
Like that's
which
why so much
Blevins
weird shit has
rendered in
happened
detail.
because they're like on
Dwellings
a
could be
weird ass
built on
planet.
the inside surface,
Ring-world
with
planet.
gravity simulated via the now familiar method of a steady rotation. Due to the spherical shape, however, gravity at the poles would be quite a bit lower, and hence could be the location of spaceship docking ports and zero-gravity manufacturing. Recreational activities such as low-gravity swimming could also be held in this area.
The actual colonies always remind me of like Gundam, though.
But there are even
like
more
colonies
unique
like that.
possible shapes.
I get the windows
One
getting
of my
blown open and all the
personal
people getting sucked out.
megastructures is
Some
called a
like
hoop
Gundam
world,
anime.
and it kind of looks like an enormous habitable
There it is, a
donut
hoop
floating in
world.
space. As cool as this looks, Blevins imagines a hoop world would have some potential drawbacks, as the shape of this megastructure would cause stronger simulated gravity on the inner equator, and weaker gravity on the outer one. Life on a hoop world would also likely depend on its position relative to the sun, as tipping the structure toward or away from the sun could create seasons, just like how Earth's tilt is responsible for the seasons on our own planet. Personally, I think life on a space donut would be worth the hurdles. Yet megastructures wouldn't necessarily have to be built in space at all. There is a vast portion of the Earth which, much like the cosmos we currently
O'Neill
inhabit
cylinders,
very
interesting.
little of, are oceans. Since over 70% of Earth's surface is covered in water, it makes sense we might one day build structures that allow us to live under the waves. Sci-fi artists from past decades have often imagined undersea cities that look much like the ones we have on land, just encased in glass bubbles.
I like that those
Blevins'
submarines are
model
just
of
like
an underwater
penguins.
megastructure, however, is far more unique and more efficient. While not a city as we know them today, this megastructure is a series of interconnected modules, which could be more easily isolated and repaired should a leak ever occur. It would also make expansion fairly straightforward, as new models could be added at any time. A curious option for habitation.
Seems like a pain in the ass.
Megastructures might not just be used for habitation, however. They could also be built to obtain resources, which is the purpose of the colossal gas giant refinery.
Cloud City?
Gas giants like Jupiter contain huge amounts of hydrogen and helium, raw elements that might be fundamental to an interplanetary civilization. Today, we have no way to access these elements, despite knowing of their existence. Blevins conceptualizes how one day, however, we could suspend a series of structures in the atmosphere of Jupiter to harvest a safe portion of these gases.
That's so crazy.
Lowering a megastructure into a planet as unpredictable as Jupiter would be a daring endeavor and would likely require multiple steps. The
Imagine
refineries
falling off.
Blevins has designed work via balloons filled with buoyant gas, which uses a portion of the extracted hydrogen and helium to raise and lower the refinery. An orbital vehicle would then transport the extracted material elsewhere. A true feat of engineering, though given humans' tendencies to damage our own environment, it would need to be done carefully. But raw elements aren't the only resource future humans might depend on. It's also possible we'd still be dependent on farms for food, even as we venture out into space. These huge hexagonal structures are aptly named space farms, and Blevins imagines they'd solve that very problem. Within these vast
settlers of
structures,
Catan
the
in
atmosphere
space,
could be
giant
controlled to produce the
hexagons.
highest crop yield, and a set of mirrors could reflect real starlight to create a fake day-night cycle. With this model, walking among these crops would likely be a lot like strolling through a regular farm. Of course, it might also be more practical to grow plants in more controlled, greenhouse-like
sense. I mean,
zero-G environments within
even
the
Star
structure.
Wars, it's
Whatever
basically what the
case, this is one
fucking cloud
megastructure
refineries
that seems
are, I guess.
particularly useful. Yet there are other
I've never thought
darker
about that as a
potential
concept, though,
purposes
like how to
behind
get
building a megastructure
resources out of
to
a cloud.
create a cosmos-shaking
giant.
superweapon. The most famous destructive megastructure in fiction is probably the classic Death Star. Blevins portrays
pretty
an
scary
even
idea.
larger, more terrifying superweapon, however. A Dyson laser. Essentially a swarm of satellites
Sounds
surrounding
like a really
the
good
sun.
vacuum
This
cleaner.
theoretical device would focus the energy of a star into a beam capable of destroying the atmosphere of a planet, or even
Powered by the
destroying
Dyson
planet
laser.
itself. This is one megastructure we have to hope is never constructed. The last megastructure
There's already
to cover,
one in
however,
orbit
is
right
one of
now.
the most awe-inspiring and truly unique.
Guaranteed.
This titanic artificial landscape is called an Alderson disk,
Yeah, these are fucking
and is
awesome.
essentially a giant platter of land.
So
and with a
cool.
radius equivalent to the orbit of Mars, the Alderson disk is the single largest structure in this entry.
Minecraft.
Life on an Alderson disk would be one of extremes. The region closest to the sun would be an arid landscape, millions of times larger than any desert on Earth. Likewise, the region furthest from the sun would likely be a frigid cold ice sheet, far cooler than Earth's polar regions.
Endless
Only in the central
Minecraft
habitable
seed.
zone would temperatures reach moderate levels. But this habitable zone would be pretty roomy, millions of times larger than the space we have on Earth. However, in order to have Earth-like gravity, the disk would need to be several thousand kilometers thick, which, combined with its radius, would require more material than all the planets of our solar system combined.
Yeah.
It would also have to be made of a hyper-advanced construction material to keep it from collapsing. In other words, as amazing as an Alderson disk looks, it's not exactly a simple thing to actually construct. Ultimately, megastructures are incredible, but they're also a very distant aspiration. If any of these amazing structures are in our future, they're too far away for us to depend on as a fallback. For the time being, the only place in the universe fit for long-term habitation is the curious little rock we call Earth. So, as we look to the horizon, we must also remember the importance of what's right beneath our feet. You can read more about these megastructures and many more very soon in the official encyclopedia. You can also follow and support Neil Blevins using the links in the description.
Why does Neil Blevins sound so familiar? It's just like a familiar sounding last name. All right, let's do something a little bit more upbeat. A black mist. We go from high sci-fi concepts
Let me
to
tell you a story
awful.
that happened to me one night, and there are others to confirm it also. It was just an ordinary night shift. I normally like working on night shift because I am a bit of a night owl, so I don't mind staying up late at night.
That
But
flow?
one night things became really strange, and what I mean by strange
Damn, Flo looking
is
pretty
an
good.
understatement. I mean
For Go Animate.
extraordinarily strange. You will see as you watch the story. Let me start at the beginning. It was a Friday night, and I was working the night shift in my local hospital. I was just relaxing in the reception, reading a great book, when suddenly a man burst in the door. He was carrying a woman and shouted, "Help! Help! I saw this woman on the road. She's about to have a baby."
Oh my
I
God.
said, "Sir, who is this woman? I need to put her details into the system, but don't worry, we will get her to the labor ward right away." A few minutes later, the lady was put on a stretcher and put into the labor ward.
The labor
She kept
ward.
screaming and screaming. The man didn't know who she was, as he just picked her up on the road, and the doctors and nurses couldn't get anything out of her. Suddenly, a photograph fell out of the woman's hand, and it was of her and another woman. There was the name Claire Jackson on the back.
Claire Jackson.
I heard them say her name, and out of curiosity and trying to solve the mystery of who the woman was, I researched her. Claire was taken away from her mother
Gundam's awesome.
due to her mother suffering from
Gundam
delusions
Wing
of
and
being the
G-Gundam
Messiah to
where
a
it's at,
dark
though.
lord. She was taken away into the asylum, rambling about a satanic ritual performed to summon a dark lord that would be born
I hope
on
not.
November 22nd. I froze when I read that date, as I was reading that article exactly on November the 22nd. Suddenly the screaming grew louder. I ran into the labor
demon.
ward, and the lady had
It's a
given
demon.
birth. The whole hospital got covered in a dark mist.
Oh my God.
The woman stopped screaming and gave a sinister smile, and the baby looked up at us with bright, red, evil-looking eyes that shone through the dark mist. Now that I've told you the story, let me tell you the weirdest, strangest thing. That woman walked out of the hospital that night with her baby and was never to be seen again, We checked CCTV footage, and we were all around a bed where the woman was, but the baby and woman weren't anywhere to be seen on any of the CCTV footage. But we know what we saw, and we know that we didn't imagine it. How could so many of us have imagined it? But the question I ask is, if that baby is a Dark Lord, when will it make its presence known? Every day I worry that the room I'm in will get covered in that black mist.
In the black mist.
Sharon was looking for a place to rent, and she spent hours and hours looking through different rooms and apartments. The prices were way out of her budget.
Yeah, this was written by
She felt
Skynet.
like she would have to have a super high-paying job to even pay the rent, don't mind the cost of living on top of that. She kept looking at different houses, and there was a great choice, but that great choice came with an even greater price, and not greater as in value, but greater as in a very high price. She was about to give up when she had to look twice to see, was she seeing things, or were her eyes playing tricks on her from staring at the screen for so long. There was a really nice apartment complex in what looked like a lovely neighborhood near where she wanted to rent. What caught her eye
Yeah, it was written by AI.
rent
An
a room
Irishman.
and living room plus use of
Got
swimming pool, entirely free in this beautiful spacious house in a beautiful neighborhood. You will be able to stay indefinitely, but just need to take part in a training session to help finding ways of bettering ourselves through a modern day type of experimental wellness therapy. When she scrolled down to the bottom of the page, under the photo of the complex,
It's like Go
it had
Animate.
written
I think it's like a
bold
free
red writing, "If interested, please reply as soon
template
as
tool.
possible, as there is only a few positions to be filled." The complex can hold plenty people, as it has more than 30 spacious bedrooms and leisure rooms, etc. But apply right away if interested.
What is going on?
Before spaces are gone. Sharon didn't even
Sharon, what are you
begin to
doing?
consider not applying when she had already clicked on the button below which said apply now. She filled in all the information and was delighted when she got a reply back saying, "Thank you for applying to stay in the wellness mansion. You just have started the journey to changing your life to bring out the best in you." Sharon wondered what exactly did the experimental wellness therapy mean, but she guessed it
Experimental
couldn't mean anything
anything
bad.
therapy.
A
If
week
you
later,
don't
Sharon
really need it,
was
if your
in
life
her
doesn't
new
depend on
room in the wellness mansion.
Why
She
do it?
felt like being in a posh hotel. Her room had a TV and was decorated beautifully. She was lying in her bed relaxing, scrolling through Instagram on her phone when a man entered.
A man appeared.
He smiled and said, "Hello, Sharon, and good evening to you. Welcome to the Wellness Mansion. You must have read what it said on the site about this being the first step of your journey to becoming a better you. And that is true. But that phone you were just looking at, I'm afraid, has to go. You will not have to worry about food or any bills, just as once you 100% apply yourself to this therapy." Sharon said, "Well, I'm afraid I need my phone, as I have to stay up to date with all my social media feeds. But don't worry, I won't be on my phone all the time." The man said, "I'm very sorry, dear. I need your phone right now, or else I'm afraid you need to exit this wellness mansion and make room for someone who will apply themselves fully to our rules." Sharon felt a pang of fear and dread, wondering what he meant.
It looks like that picture of what's his name with the coconut hair. When he has like the coconut hair haircut. What the fuck was that from? Nickelodeon show or something. I can't remember. One of you knows what I'm talking about. He's even making like the same. She's making the same face. Kind of the burying creams. Is it just coconut head? Ned's declassified. Yeah, you're right. It's just coconut head. Ned's declassified. I don't even know what that is. I just remember seeing that fucking picture all the time. It was after my time. Doesn't it kind of? It's literally the coconut head.
By applied himself fully to our rules. Suddenly she feared.
I'll just put it up real quick. Fuck it. It is coconut head. Easy enough. What did that guy like do in that show?
She just made a terrible mistake coming to the wellness mansion.
He got beat up.
A few hours later, the same man came into her room and said, "Okay, dear, we will be doing the first test run of what's to come. You might think this is a bit of real heavy work and feel like not even trying, but if you do, then I'm afraid you will not be able to live in this wonderful house rent-free. But if you do apply yourself to this very, very simple test, then you, my dear, will be qualified to stay here, and we will teach you to be the best version of you." What Sharon was told to do was do exercise
You're the
until
best
an alarm went
around.
off. She was given
Nothing's ever gonna keep you down.
and thought it would be just a few minutes, but she nearly passed out a few times as each exercise went on for what seemed like hours. Each time the alarm went off, she just had a few minutes to organize what she needed for the next one and had to do the exercise
What the fuck?
non-stop until the alarm went off.
Yeah, the ambient music is
After
funny.
the last
I
alarm
like it
went,
sometimes.
the man entered Sharon's room and clapped, saying,
Slow
"Well
clap.
done, my dear. You did absolutely fabulous. You now have full use of this house." The next day, Sharon was walking down the hall when a man said to her, "Hello, how are you doing?" Sharon said, "I'm great, thanks. I'm a bit stressed though
Is that Chris Hansen?
about what I was made do last night."
Chris
The
Hansen
man's
in this
pleasant
fucking cult?
expression changed, and he grabbed Sharon by the throat and said, "Don't complain.
What?
You don't know how good you have it. Just do what you're told, and if not, then you will suffer. But on the other hand, if you do what you're told, you will gain more than happiness. You will gain euphoria." Sharon was shaking with fear after the man said what he said. He let go of her, and she ran back into her room and shut the door. She shook in fear, realizing that there was no bolt in the inside to lock herself in.
Oh, I forgot this guy was even telling this story.
She was made to do extreme exercises for hours and hours, and when she told them she wanted to go home, a man gave her a phone to scroll through the photos and said,
"What?
That is what happened the last person who wanted to go home."
What the fuck?
She nearly got sick when she saw different photos of a person being brutally tortured in different ways. There was a weird red siren in the background where the man was being tortured. She asked what was the siren there for. The man said, "Thanks for showing interest. Well, just put it this way. Hopefully you will never see that siren go red and flash, because if you do, then that's the end of you." Suddenly Sharon got her fork and stuck it in the man's eye while she stuck the knife in his neck and ran out the door. She was feeling lucky that no one was in the hall to stop her, and before she knew it, luckily she was outside, safe in the street. She ran across the road and an elderly lady said, "Oh my goodness, dear, what's wrong? Please come in, dear." Sharon was shouting, "Help me, call the police. Please call the police."
She's in the cult. Don't go.
In the door,
Don't
when she saw
trust her.
something in the window of the woman's house. It was a red siren.
Oh no.
The man's words came flooding back to her. Hopefully she will never see the siren flash, because if she did, it was the end of her. Sharon had realized the woman must have been one of them. She ran down the street, but as she ran, she noticed on every single window, in every single house, there was a red siren flash.
No.
She panicked as she was surrounded by people all over the street, and she knew there was no escape.
That's it? Yeah, I like this song. The synth is nice. What? Japanese legend.
Sarah, Jessie, and Judy were walking home from school, and it was just like any other day, except for something bad and sinister in the news once again. Once again, the news about the Japanese urban legend Tiki Tiki was in the spotlight after some poor girl was found murdered and her body sliced straight off at her waist.
By her feet right here. They're just like under the train tracks. She slid underneath,
leaving her bleed to death while her legs lay on the train tracks.
Completely fine.
The legend began in Japan years and years ago. Nobody knows the exact year, but every so often these horrific murders happen. The Tiki Tiki got its name when a schoolgirl was making her way home from school one day, and she was said to have fallen onto the train tracks, where her body was cut in half by the train. She is known as an onryo, or a vengeful spirit who lurks
train is going
in urban
sideways,
areas and around train stations at night. Since the girl has no longer a lower body, she travels on either her hands or elbows, dragging her upper torso and making a scratching sound or a tiki-tiki-like sound. If the girl comes across an individual, she will chase them and slice them in half at the torso, killing them exactly the way that would mimic her own disfigurement. The girls were chatting about the latest murder. Sarah said, "I know that people are talking about this silly legend Tiki Tiki, but no way is it that girl. It's some serial killer that is copycatting the legend. I bet he will get caught, and then people will see."
I'm pretty sure this is a Chilla's art game too.
Mad woman, Judy said. "You don't know. It might be that girl."
The Walk
Actually,
Home.
I believe it is that girl.
I'm pretty sure there's like a bunch of games coming out that's kind of like the same legend.
Every so often, I think we should walk home together from now on. It's not safe for us to be alone. Walking alone in this creepy train station? No way. The girls waited anxiously at the train station. It was extremely quiet, probably due to the fact of the latest news of yet another poor girl having her body cut in two. The train was approaching, and the girls would be happy to get into it and get home. Suddenly, Sarah discovered her phone was missing. She said, "Oh no, my phone." She looked around and spotted it over by a bench. The girls got into the train, and suddenly Sarah was walking towards the door when the doors shut. She screamed as she had a fear overcome her whole body, knowing she'd be all alone in this creepy train station. Suddenly she heard a scratching sound. She put it down to her imagination, hoping it was her imagination, praying it was her imagination. She heard it again. She turned around and she screamed
Let's see if
when
there's a
she saw
Chillazar
a girl
game.
with no legs crawling along the ground. Suddenly the girl gained speed. Sarah ran and ran, but the girl with no legs used a huge knife to slice Sarah in two. The tiki noise stopped.
There's none
as the
that are
girl
exactly
stopped,
that name, but it might be one of
down
them.
at Sarah, bleeding to death.
Like they did Yoki Onna, Akamanto. I don't know if there's any others that are actually like anything like that. They did do a train game too, but you don't get like cut in half. The Ghost Train. I haven't played a Chilla's Art game in a while. I think everything else here is just like a repeat. And we've already seen. I'm just looking through our Brex real quick. Well, is he like super Welsh or Irish? I think he's Welsh. I don't think he's actually even Irish, is he? Didn't someone say they knew exactly where he was from by his accent? I think someone said that he's not. I think he... I don't know. We'll look into it. Cork, Ireland.
I had an exceptionally upsetting incident.
Who's this guy? Broccoli Animations. Check that out. I just saw some other interesting looking channel, but I lost it. Something new. It was like the Shadow Man or something like that.
Provoked. By now, most of us are familiar with Kent and the house he lives in, the Lamb House. In the past couple of weeks, I
I've never
featured
seen this
a video
channel.
of him from his YouTube channel, Ghosts of Carmel, Maine.
Oh,
Previously,
Carmel Main
Kent
guy.
caught a very
That channel's actually
creepy
kind of interesting
looking,
too.
Skull peeking out from behind a wall.
Just like the
While
production
in the
values
latest
are neat.
video of
There's like
his,
some
he may just have caught something very similar. Paranormal investigator
things moving
Janice from
around.
Southern California flew out to Maine to experience the paranormal activity inside the Lamb House firsthand. Blake and Randall, two more paranormal investigators from New York,
He like
also
lets people
joined
come to
both
his house,
Dennis
and I think he
Kent
just
for a
fucks with
night
them.
of, well, investigating. This is just a small portion of what they captured on camera one night in the basement of Kent's place, also known as the Lamb House.
Some paranormal investigators will come to the Lamb House and will innocently ask spirits to touch them.
The Lamb
They
House?
do get touched, but sometimes dark entities will also touch them. Such was the case in the basement the other night.
This has just got that, like, creepy, musty smell.
The hell's that?
I welcome you to come touch me. Touch my hand. Oh my God, my hand. It's like I almost, it was so static.
I do not hear "help me" in that.
Come on. Will you come talk to me, please? Pretty please? I've come an awful long way to talk to you.
Are you guys down here?
Ah!
What's the matter?
Something just hit the back of my leg.
Are you guys down here? Janice thought a rock was thrown at the back of her leg. After carefully looking over the recordings, nothing hit the back of her leg. Nothing landed on the floor behind her. But right before the back of her leg was hit, we see something in the recording that is quite troubling. A skull face with deep dark eye sockets. This looks to be the exact face that recently appeared on the steps upstairs. The stairs is directly above this portion of the basement.
What? Like,
as
it could be
says
anything.
In the video, this face or
Like
skull
10
looking
pixels.
a thing that appears near Janice's feet really does look like what he caught on camera all those weeks ago. The paranormal investigators also caught this following creepy moment on camera from the same location.
Alright, I want to take another tack with this. Out of respect for Kent, I'm not going to piss you off. Okay? Out of respect, he asked no provoking. I respect that. Do something. Push me. Play with my hair. Okay?
Play with my hair.
Come on. Oh! Something push me. Oh! Something push
The
me.
fuck?
Oh!
It looked like some small animal like flew through there. Is it a hand?
A very weird and creepy looking entity, I guess,
Master
darts
hand?
quickly into a hole in the basement wall. It seems as if whatever this was, perhaps wanted to escape the company of the paranormal investigators. Many viewers suggest that the videos Kent manages to record in and around his house are some of the scariest online. But what do you think? Check out Kent and his YouTube channel, Ghosts of Carmel, Maine, for the full video. You can also check out Blake and his YouTube channel, Paranormal Identification. Links for both, of course, are down below. Being watched. Kaka, or Aziza Salsa 12, as she is
I don't think I
known
want to
on
watch
TikTok.
the rest of this, but I'm kind of more interested in the Caramel Main ghost guy. I've been seeing so many of his clips in these videos. How long is this? 30 minutes. I'm going to sub to this and check it out sometime. Caramel Main.